Hey, what's up? It's TJ here. Today I want to talk about a project I just recently did. I figured I'll start doing videos like this where after a project I'll just talk about like the shoot and how I prepared for it and how I shot it. So this particular shoot was just a video shoot for a friend of mine who is starting to provide services in the area of sound healing. And sound healing was like something that I thought was like a really cool concept and a really cool subject matter to kind of talk about. And she's a very thoughtful person and also someone who I feel like would, perform well on camera and present a good, just vibe on camera. So after she shared with me that she'll be providing these services, I decided to reach out to her and see if she was willing to do a video shoot. And the purpose of this is just to get the story behind her brand or her services and why she wants to provide them to help her in the sense of gaining and getting more customers. So it was a perfect scenario for me and for her because I wanted to tell more stories, and this was a way for me to tell more thoughtful stories. The first thing I did was make a plan. So I used Milanote to prepare for the shoot, and I have a ton of tabs and things. And Milanote actually shot my last short film using Milanote to prepare and to share information to the entire crew. I felt like this is a good way to organize all of my thoughts. So what I did was I created a column for just the interview questions, and created a column for the shot list and how I wanted to shoot this particular film. And the last thing I created was a bunch of links that I felt like would be great audio to use or great music or soundtrack to use for this particular film. So I broke it down into two parts, just shooting the interview and also shooting the B-roll. So we shot the interview first, and then we also shot a session of B-roll of her connecting with the bowls. So what I did before the shoot day was I decided to go over and just see her space again. We decided that the room upstairs was the best place to get her interview shots and then also to get some of the B-roll. The plan was to make sure that we got a kind of tour of her space. The problem was that it was raining and it wasn't the most ideal situation because there wasn't a lot of natural light. She had a lot of warm yellow light in there, and it just looked really dim and dark, and that's not the vibe that I wanted to really play off in her film. I wanted to seem welcoming and also seem nice and warm. Not having the natural light altered the shoot schedule, so what we had to do was the whole point of that was to make sure she felt comfortable on camera. So I wanted to get her in a more natural state and just talking to the camera and getting used to the camera recording her. And a lot of times shooting stuff like this, your job is to make the person feel as comfortable as possible and almost forget that the camera is even there. So you may have to do more with certain people and a little bit less with other people. You'll tend to see them open up after a while. So we sat down and we set up the light, set up the scene, and it looked pretty good based off of the light coming in. And also I added in my key light, but that's it. I just used one light. All of the lights coming in from the window really helped as a kicker light or a hair light for her, and separated her from the background. So I really didn't need much else. So besides the weather kind of going bad and not really being what I wanted it to be, it actually helped out because of that scene. But it also kind of put a damper on the shoot day itself. But I'm actually glad that it happened because it actually made that interview shot a lot better. So usually things just happen like they're supposed to happen. So we decided to make that shoot day just about the interview and about getting some B-roll. So one thing I may do is just watch the entire interview and see how well she spoke. And if there's some parts that I want to change, I may actually have her write about specific things and just maybe write some things down. Or I may just take her words and put them in a more seamless fashion so that she can just read it off and maybe mix some of that in there. So the entire thing was shot on the EOS R, same camera I'm using right now, and the colors came out great. I actually used EOS original color profile. I filmed in C-Log 8-bit, and I'm super excited about how it came out. One of the things, of course, that went wrong was the weather, but it actually worked out. And then another thing that went wrong was I actually forgot my C-stand, and I didn't have anything to put my light on. I tend to always forget something that has to do with my lighting. But fortunately enough, I brought along my audio stand, and that was supposed to be kind of like a overhead, but I had to take my audio stand and use it as the light stand, which actually worked out. So I had her sit on the floor. You know, that audio stand couldn't go too high. Now after that, we shot the B-roll, and I wish I had the light stand, the C stand for that scenario, so I could do the overhead. But these were just going to be kind of just shots that I just felt like, you know, if we need to use them, we can. Overall, I feel like this is probably one of the best interview setups I've shot in a while. I've shot some pretty good ones, but I really kind of like this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Make sure you do more of what you love, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.